Did you know that the sharp pain running from your lower back down through your hip and leg can quietly take away your freedom to move? After the age of 60, this burning or tingling discomfort, known as sciatica, does more than just hurt. It can make walking across the room difficult, disturb your sleep, and over time, weaken your legs so much that even getting out of a chair feels like a challenge. The issue is that when the sciatic nerve is compressed by tight muscles or pressure in the spine, every step becomes harder. Ignoring it does not make it go away. In fact, it can limit your independence and increase your risk of falls as you grow older. The good news is that you can find relief without complicated equipment or harsh treatments. With just a few gentle stretches done at home, you can release tension in the hips and lower back, ease pressure on the nerve, and begin to move with more comfort and confidence. In today's video, I will guide you through 10 simple stretches designed to reduce sciatica pain, restore flexibility, and help you feel steadier on your feet. All you need is a little space, a chair or mat for support, and the willingness to move gently. Before we begin, remember, if you feel pain, stop and adjust. If you have any serious medical concerns, it is always wise to speak with your doctor first. Now, let's get started with the very first stretch. Exercise 1. Seated glute stretch. The first step in finding relief is to release the muscles that often press directly on the sciatic nerve, your glutes. When these muscles tighten, they can trigger that deep, radiating pain down the back of your leg. By gently opening them, you create more space for the nerve to glide freely. Let us try it together. Sit on the floor or on a mat with your legs stretched out in front of you. If it feels difficult to keep your back upright, place a folded towel or small cushion under your hips. This small support makes it easier to sit tall without straining. Now bend one knee and cross your ankle over the opposite thigh, just above the knee. You should already feel a gentle pull in your hip and glute. From here, lean forward slowly, keeping your spine long and your chest open, until you feel a comfortable stretch deep in the back of your hip. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply. With every exhale, imagine the tightness melting away. Then carefully switch sides. Do not worry if one side feels tighter than the other. That is very common and often connected to which side your sciatica bothers more. If sitting on the floor is too uncomfortable, you can do the same movement in a sturdy chair. The effect is the same, gently opening the hip, releasing pressure, and giving your sciatic nerve more space. Each time you practice this stretch, you are telling your body it does not need to stay locked in pain. You are creating room for healing and movement. Exercise 2. Double knee to chest stretch. One of the most common triggers of sciatica pain is pressure in the lower spine. When the small joints and discs in your back get compressed, the space around the sciatic nerve becomes tighter. By gently drawing both knees toward the chest, you create more room in the lower spine and release that pressure. Here is how to do it. Lie down flat on your back on a mat or carpeted floor. Start by pulling one knee gently toward your chest. Then bring the other knee up to join it. Wrap your arms around your shins or place your hands just below the knees. Relax your shoulders down into the floor and let your lower back soften. Take slow, deep breaths as you hold the stretch for 20 to 30 seconds. With each inhale, feel your spine expand. With each exhale, imagine your lower back releasing into the mat. If you want to increase the stretch slightly, you can curl your head, neck, and shoulders off the ground as if giving yourself a gentle hug. But remember, only do this if it feels comfortable. This stretch is not about pulling hard. It is about giving your back the message that it is safe to let go of tension. Every time you practice it, you create space in your spine and reduce the pressure on your sciatic nerve. Exercise 3. Knee to opposite shoulder stretch. Another key muscle that can irritate the sciatic nerve is the piriformis, a small but powerful muscle deep in your hip. When it tightens, it can press directly on the nerve, causing pain that shoots down the leg. By gently pulling your knee across the body, you stretch this muscle and give the nerve more space to breathe. Here is how to try it. Lie flat on your back with both legs extended. Slowly bend one knee and draw it toward your chest, holding it with both hands. From here, guide the knee gently across your body toward the opposite shoulder. You should feel a steady stretch in your outer hip and lower back, but never pain. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply. Imagine the muscle around your hip softening with every exhale. Then slowly release and switch to the other side. If pulling the knee all the way across feels too intense, simply bring it toward the same side shoulder instead. Even this smaller range of motion can relax the piriformis and ease nerve irritation. With each repetition, you are not just stretching a muscle. You are reducing the pressure on the sciatic nerve itself, helping your leg feel lighter and your steps more stable. Exercise 4. Reclined spinal twist. Sometimes sciatica pain is linked not just to tight muscles, but also to stiffness in the spine. When the lower back becomes rigid, the joints do not move as they should, and the nerves that pass between them can feel trapped. A gentle spinal twist can help restore mobility and release pressure, but it must be done carefully. Here is how to practice it. Lie on your back with your legs extended. Bend one knee and draw it toward your chest. Place the opposite hand on that knee and guide it gently across your body toward the floor. At the same time, extend your other arm out to the side like a T, keeping both shoulders as flat against the ground as possible. As you settle into the twist, you should feel a stretch along your spine and through your hip. Breathe deeply, holding the position for 20 to 30 seconds. Let your exhale help you relax further into the stretch. Then slowly return to center and switch sides. Important note: if your sciatica comes from a serious spinal condition, such as a herniated disc or spinal stenosis, this move may not be suitable. Always listen to your body, and if the twist causes discomfort, skip it and focus on the other stretches. Done gently, this twist can release tension, improve spinal mobility, and bring a sense of relief through the hips and lower back. It is not about forcing range of motion. It is about giving your body a chance to unwind. Exercise 5. Seated figure 4 stretch. One of the most effective ways to ease sciatic nerve pressure is to open up the hips while keeping the spine supported. This seated variation allows you to deeply stretch the glute and hip muscles, which are often the source of compression, while reducing strain on your lower back. Sit tall on the edge of a sturdy chair with both feet flat on the ground. Lift one leg and place the ankle across the opposite thigh, just above the knee, forming the shape of a number 4. Keep your back long and your chest open. From here, lean forward slowly, hinging from your hips. Do not collapse your spine. Instead, imagine reaching your chest toward your shin. As you do, you should feel a steady stretch deep in your hip and glute. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds while breathing deeply, then gently switch sides. You may notice that one hip feels tighter than the other. That is very common and often matches the side where your sciatica pain shows up more strongly. This stretch not only relieves tension in the hip muscles, but also reduces pressure on the sciatic nerve, helping you sit, stand, and walk with greater ease. Exercise 6. Reclined figure 4 stretch. When sciatica pain flares up, even sitting can feel uncomfortable. That is where the reclined figure 4 stretch comes in. By lying on your back, you take pressure off the spine while still opening the hips and glutes, two of the main areas that irritate the sciatic nerve. Begin by lying on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor. Cross one ankle over the opposite thigh just above the knee, creating a figure 4 shape. From here, tighten your stomach muscles slightly to protect your back and lift the bottom leg off the ground. Wrap your hands around the back of your thigh and gently pull it toward your chest. You should feel a deep stretch along the back of the hip and through the glute of the crossed leg. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing slowly and evenly. To intensify the stretch, keep one hand wrapped around your thigh and use the other to gently press the crossed knee away from your body. Then release carefully and switch to the other side. This reclined stretch is especially helpful when your back feels sensitive, as it reduces spinal load while still easing pressure on the nerve. With practice, it helps restore comfort to both sitting and walking. Exercise 7. Pigeon pose. When hip muscles stay tight for too long, they can act like a vice around the sciatic nerve. The pigeon pose is one of the most powerful ways to release that tension. It deeply stretches the glutes and piriformis while allowing the hip to open, taking pressure off the nerve. Start on your hands and knees on a mat. Bring one leg forward and bend it so the shin rests across the front of your body, as parallel to the top of the mat as you can comfortably manage. Extend your other leg straight back behind you, keeping the top of the foot flat on the floor. Gently lower your hips toward the mat. Do not worry if they do not touch the ground. Many people place a folded towel or pillow under the front hip for support. Once settled, You can keep your hands on the floor for balance, or lower down to your elbows for a deeper stretch. Hold this position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply. Feel the stretch in your hip and glute the front leg. Then press through your hands to lift back up, swing your leg behind you, and carefully switch sides. This stretch can feel intense, so move slowly and listen to your body. The goal is release, not strain. With regular practice, the pigeon pose helps open your hips, ease nerve compression, and restore freedom to your lower back and legs. Exercise 8. Standing hamstring stretch. Tight hamstrings can pull on the pelvis and lower back, increasing pressure on the sciatic nerve. By gently stretching these muscles, you release that tension and make it easier for your back and hips to move without strain. Stand tall in front of a sturdy chair, step, or low surface. Place one heel on the surface with your leg extended. If your flexibility is limited, choose a lower height so you can maintain good posture. Keep your spine long and your chest lifted as you slowly hinge forward from the hips. Imagine your tailbone reaching back while your chest reaches forward. You should feel a stretch along the back of your thigh, not in your lower back. Hold the stretch for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing deeply. Over time, as your hamstrings loosen, you can gradually straighten your knee more. Then carefully lower your leg and switch sides. This simple move not only eases tightness, but also helps restore natural movement in your hips and spine, making walking, climbing stairs, and bending forward more comfortable. Each stretch is a small step toward reducing sciatic pain and regaining daily freedom. Exercise 9. Scissor hamstring stretch. Another way to release tension in the hamstrings and lower back is through the scissor hamstring stretch. This movement not only lengthens the muscles in the back of your legs, but also teaches your body to balance, while keeping the spine long and supported. Stand tall with one foot placed a comfortable step in front of the other, as if you were standing on a narrow track. Keep both legs straight if you can, but allow a slight bend in your back knee if that feels better. Place your hands on your hips to keep your posture upright. From here, hinge forward slowly at the hips, reaching your chest forward while keeping your spine long. Imagine your tailbone reaching back and your head moving forward in a straight line. You should feel a strong but gentle stretch along the back of your front leg. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, breathing steadily. Then rise back up, step forward with the other leg, and repeat on the opposite side. This stretch is about control, not depth. Even a small tilt can provide relief and improve flexibility over time. Practicing the scissor hamstring stretch regularly helps ease tightness, reduces nerve pressure, and makes walking and bending feel more natural again. Exercise 10. Baby cobra stretch. While many of the previous stretches focused on the hips and legs, this one targets the spine directly. When the lower back becomes compressed, the sciatic nerve often feels trapped. The baby cobra stretch helps restore length through the spine, creating space for the nerve and easing pressure. Lie on your stomach with your legs extended behind you. Place your elbows directly under your shoulders and your forearms flat on the ground. Press gently into your arms as you lift your chest, allowing your back to arch slightly. Keep your hips and legs relaxed on the floor. Focus on length rather than height. Imagine your chest pulling forward through your arms, your shoulders opening wide, and your belly lifting gently away from the mat. Breathe slowly and deeply, holding for 15 to 20 seconds. If you feel comfortable, you can press into your hands and extend your arms a little more to rise into a higher cobra. But stop immediately if you feel sharp pain or pinching in your back. This gentle back bend encourages flexibility in the spine, improves posture, and relieves pressure on the nerves. Each time you practice it, you are reminding your body that it can move freely again without fear. You have now completed 10 gentle stretches designed to ease sciatica pain. Each movement worked in a different way, opening tight hips, lengthening the hamstrings, and creating space in the spine, all with one goal: to reduce pressure on the sciatic nerve and help you move more comfortably. Remember, these stretches are not about pushing hard or forcing range of motion. They are about consistency. Practicing them regularly can bring lasting relief, improve your mobility, and give you more confidence in everyday activities like walking, standing, or simply getting out of a chair. If today's routine helped you, give yourself credit for taking this step toward healing. And to keep making progress, try to revisit these stretches several times a week. If you found this video useful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who might also benefit. And for more simple routines designed especially for older adults, do not forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the next session. Take care of your body, move gently, and remember, every stretch is a step toward freedom from pain.